Guys, it's a beautiful bright sunny day today, which is nice because it's been raining for a really long time. So I'm going to take advantage of the weather and go out and get some stuff done. Today is an errands day and I've got a lot of stuff to do. I've also got a 2 terabyte SD card off AliExpress, and it's possibly a little bit dodgy because the legit sort of real McCoy brand name is SanDisk, and this one is Sandian. So clearly it's a knockoff. But you know, even if it only holds half of that capacity, I would be kind of amazed, because I've been looking at ways to take bike footage long distance without completely running out of storage on everything that I own. So we're going to give that a go today. So if you're watching this video, it means the SD card works. And if you're not, then nobody's any the wiser and I shouldn't have bought it. But let's get on the road. Spoiler alert, the SD card absolutely did not work. So I actually went off and refilmed the ride so that I'd have some footage to talk over. That age-old saying, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. It took a moment for my camera to register the SD card, about a minute or so, but once it did, it said that I had around 50 hours of filming time. That's way more than the batteries would have lasted, but I have a battery charging station that can charge up to 3 Insta batteries at the same time. I figured that I could hook that up to a charging pack in my panniers and simply switch them out as needed. But just as I was starting down this hill towards town, I noticed a problem. About every 15 minutes or so, the camera stopped recording. It usually only does this when it's run out of battery or storage, but neither of those two things were true. So I turned the camera off, back on, and started recording again. Definitely not an ideal situation whilst driving. But that wasn't the worst of it. When I got home, hot, tired, but with a sense of great achievement, I put the SD card into my laptop only to discover that something had gone horribly wrong. An Insta360 camera has 2 lenses, one facing forward and the other back. You need footage from both cameras to edit in 360 Studio. But for some reason, my camera had only saved footage from one lens. It looked like the data was there, great big hulking files that indicated it had recorded. But with only half the input, the editor wouldn't open the file. I tried every trick on YouTube, but nothing worked. In the end, I gave up and threw it away, both the footage and the SD card. If the camera had just rejected the card outright, I would have been a lot less disappointed, but it gave the impression that it was filming normally. I also noticed that it managed to bypass the ability to stop recording, disabling both the button and the voice command. I think that's why it didn't save the footage properly, because I couldn't stop recording without turning the camera off. So anyway, moral of the story, screw Sandian. Lesson learned. And back to the drawing board when it comes to long distance video storage. Right, first stop of the day, the post office. Okay guys, first mission of the day complete. I have been waiting for these for weeks. Post here can be really bohoro. These are piano strings from music school and they've come all the way from Germany, and according to the tracking system it looks like they went through Italy and possibly Kenya at the same time, but we've got them, so this week I can go and fix somebody's piano. is St Famille Church on the left, built in 1913. They also have quite a nice guest house and a training centre just behind. And the car park is used by a local driving school to teach manoeuvres. Getting in and out of here is always a bit of a trial. Just going round the roundabout in the centre of town, and we're heading to Kigali City Tower, which is a shopping centre just up here. It used to have a really good cinema in it, but that closed many years ago. This is Kigali City Tower just here. Whenever you enter shopping centres, you have to stop so that security can search your car. Here, they also want to search my panniers. If you're entering on foot, then you need to go through the metal detectors and open your bag. All of this came in after the Westgate shopping centre attack in Kenya back in 2013. It seems pretty extreme if you're visiting from most Western countries, but there has been a lot of conflict in the region, and the theory is always better safe than sorry.
Hi guys, so the next stop is Tech Zone because I need a new phone screen protector. I was using my phone the other day for GPS and the spring on my phone holder didn't close properly. So I looked down at the directions, looked up at the road, looked down and there was no phone. Thankfully, I saw it immediately and pulled over, and this lovely guy picked it up and brought it back to me. But the screen's a little bit worse for wear, so I need to go and deal with that.
Really fun thing about parking in Rwanda, but they pile all of the bikes into one corner, so if somebody parks behind you, it might not be so easy to get out again. I don't know why they do this, but there's like no importance at all given to motorbikes. So cars get loads of parking space, but if you're on a bike, you may have to fight your way out. They do this at all of the car parks in town. It's really annoying. I've even come down to find people manhandling my bike out of the way before, which is pretty upsetting. The problem here is that there's no signpost telling you what's on each level, so I need to walk around aimlessly for a bit looking for the right shop. This is the one that I'm looking for. Tech Zone.
Looks like they also service Apple products. The shop opposite has some lovely shiny hobs. I like this one for 40k. I might get one soon, as mine are getting quite old and grimy. This is kind of cool. Looks like an old lift shaft. Time to find some lunch. I like looking through the menus.
So phone has been totally fixed. They're so nice at Tech Zone, they really are. They know what they're doing. And that was good. And then I met the guy who owns the shop opposite that, he's called Bertin, and he has got air fryers, which I've been curious about for a while. He's got a very, very nice one there for 120,000, which is quite a large one. But even large air fryers are quite small. So maybe one day. And he sells gas cookers, fridges, and all sorts of things. So what I actually like here, I've been wandering around, and just on autopilot, you know, you always go to the same shops over and over again. And I think for most expats, we always end up at T2000 for cookware and things like that. But here, there is so much choice. There's so many shops here selling cookware, home appliances. It's just really interesting. But the problem that you have is, like I said, there are no signposts anywhere. Like trying to find a cafe to sit and eat in, I had to ask somebody and they had to show me. Like there's no building plan of where the shops are and what is here. So literally just put half a day aside and just walk around, and I'm sure that you'll find whatever you're looking for. So I've just popped in here to get something to eat because I'm hungry, and I'm really impressed. It's called the House of Mandy, she said, not reading it off the signpost. And yeah, it looks like a really nice restaurant, and they have a really nice mutton dish, mutton and ginger, which I was very tempted by, but I just feel like it's very hot today and I don't think I can eat a lot. So I've ordered a chicken starter, which comes with mint sauce and cashew nut sauce and a mango smoothie, and then we're going to get back on the road again. So just a really old piece of Rwandan law. But right down there where my finger's pointing used to be Kigali National Bus Stop pretty much. And the street was as wide as it is now. But you used to have hundreds and hundreds of little bissies, little like tin can buses all lined up there, and it was crazy. Like you got a seat on a bus if you could elbow your way in there. But now that's moved to Nyabugogo. So there are no buses here anymore, but fond memories. If you're on foot, you can just walk in here and straight into the entranceway over there. But if you're parking, you carry on a little further up, and there's a little entrance to a car park on the right. Ooh, this looks amazing. This is the mango smoothie. That's good. Tastes like there might be some caramel syrup in there. I might be wrong. Very sweet. Goodness, it's just arrived. Sizzling glaze. It looks good, but there's no sauce or bread or anything to go with it, or salad. So, Oh, it's got a very nice smoky barbecue flavour and a little bit of mint. But it's a little bit dry on its own. I could definitely do with some sauce or something. Let me ask. To be fair, this was listed as a starter. So I've asked if there's any sauce, and I think they've brought pili pili. I'll just try it. Oh no, it's not. That's not hot at all. It's like, yeah, it's like a soup for dipping. Let's give that a go. That is really good. The dipping sauce is really good. Yeah, I would say it was a starter, so I thought it'd be quite small. But that to me is a main meal, so I'm probably going to take half of it home with me. Well, I thought I was going to have trouble finishing that, but I've eaten it all. Well, I've just had mint chicken, so I think I need to have mint ice cream to finish it up. Looks like they do a really good breakfast deal, 2,000 francs.
between 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Not sure what you get for that, but it looks like you get an omelette, a hot drink. I bet this place is really pretty at night because they've got lots and lots of lights strung up. Although the lights are on during the daytime, so I'm not sure why, but still I think it's probably a really nice place in the evenings. Wow, that looks really good. It's quite interesting because when I first walked in it was really empty, but now there's loads of people here, so it's a very popular place. The only way to finish a meal. That seems like a really generous portion of ice cream for the price.
This poor guy's just had to move his bike so I can get mine out. It's such a stupid parking system. I don't know why they do it.
Time to find the exit. When I did this the first time, I tried to turn left here, and several people told me to turn around and go out here. Again though, no clear signs. There was a tiny exit sign above, but it seemed to be pointing left instead of straight ahead. I've never figured out why Rwanda is so averse to signage. No signs for shopping centres, no signs for tourist attractions, no signs for parking. To live here is to love guesswork. This building straight ahead is Pension Plaza. If you're looking for expat health insurance or vehicle insurance, you'll find Old Mutual in there. They're the go-to insurance company for most things at the moment. Back down past the central roundabout, and we're heading off to Gikondo in search of baskets. I'll explain when we get there. We're actually really lucky today. It's supposed to be the start of the short dry season, but it's been pouring down. The day I filmed the ride for the first time, it was beautiful weather, but every time I wanted to go out and refilm, the heavens opened. Looks like we've got the only sunny day this week. So the place that we're heading to now is a centre that teaches handcrafts to women with disabilities. They sell a lot of very beautiful baskets. They also do an awesome walking tour, which I've done a video about before, and you can stay afterwards and try basket weaving. So I've just popped into Talking Through Art because I'm looking for a bread proofing basket. I've just begun a sourdough starter, and in all the videos when they're proofing the bread they put them into these baskets, and I could order one off AliExpress, but I thought I'd come here first because, you know, there are so many baskets in Rwanda with a very similar kind of ridging. So I thought, why not just try a local basket first and see if that works. So I thought I'd come here because they've got the nicest baskets.
So this is the hibiscus pattern, and that is the perfect shape, but it's very, very small, so it wouldn't be a very big loaf of bread. Let's see what else we've got. So something like this with the elephant is very pretty, but it's very shallow, so you wouldn't really get a nice fat loaf of bread. What I was really hoping to find is they used to do sort of long ones that would create a proper looking loaf, but I can't seem to see any. Well, there's a discount basket here, and there's this one. So it's not very deep, but it's deeper than most of them. I think it might be worth buying it just to proof of concept. And if it works, we can go looking for another basket that's the right size. Slightly awkward moment there. So I bought that basket that I found, but I was trying to explain the ones that I wanted, and I was like the square one, the long one, and eventually I pulled up a picture of it on my screen, and the lady looked at me, she said, "Oh, the bread basket." Yeah, the bread basket. But they're all out of bread baskets, so it seems like that is specifically what those baskets are for, is making bread. So maybe I'll come back another time and keep looking for them, but I've got one basket, so we can give it a go. And yeah, I mean, it might not work at all, so we'll find out. Right, so my last stop today is behind KBC. I need to go and get some cat food and some beeswax.
Sorry about the angle here. For some reason only known to itself, my camera decided to switch to filming an MP4 instead of a 360 video. So I can't change the camera angle. It's kind of like driving with a crink in your neck. We'll speed things along. Just to explain, in Rwanda, an amber light has a very different meaning to normal. In most countries, red means stop, green means go, and amber means prepare to stop. Here, a solid amber light means proceed with caution. It's really common to see. It's often used if the traffic lights aren't working properly, but it's also used generally at crossroads and other junctions, just to confuse people. When you see it, it can mean that no other traffic is joining your lane, or it can mean that lanes are merging and nobody's got right of way, so just close your eyes and hope for the best. It adds an element of excitement. When I filmed this the first time, this whole section here was at a standstill. Complete gridlock. I was so glad to be on a bike because I managed to squeeze through eventually. Shame I lost the footage, it was pretty impressive driving. We're sitting in traffic because there's a cavalcade going past. Whenever there's a politician on the move or one of the president's children, all of the roads come to a standstill. If you're unlucky, it can happen several times a day. You have to wait for the traffic police to tell you to go. Here, the traffic is a bit messed up because of the stoppage. It takes a while to get everybody moving again. But sometimes the signals can be really unclear, and it's quite common to see the traffic guy cause more confusion than he solves. This one seems to have given up entirely and is just walking off. It's every vehicle for themselves. I popped into a ZZ Life to buy some beeswax. I have some items at home that need polishing. Then I went to Appetite, which is my new favourite pet shop, to pick up some cat food.
Alright, let's go home. Great, the strap on my rucksack just broke, so I'm now standing in the burning heat, strapping it to the back of the bike. Seriously, let's go home now.
Hi guys, I've just got home. It is so hot out there. I'm definitely getting a little bit crispy, but I have homemade ginger beer. Homemade ginger beer, and I got another present from Just Sarah pet food shop. I went in at Christmas and they were giving away free presents with the cat food at Christmas, and they had a couple left over. So at Christmas, I got this really cool toy that you kind of make it out of cardboard and twist it inside out. It's like a whole thing, and it was so incredible. I had more fun making that than the cats did playing with it. They've really ignored it since I gave it to them. But they had one of these left over. And so, yeah, that's pretty cool. My friend has just got some new kittens. So if my cats aren't interested in these, she can borrow them for the kittens. So yeah, today was a busy day. I've been out for about over 4 hours, I think. I left about 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, oh, it's almost 4 now. I've been in town for a long time today. Most of that is traffic. Some of it was the fact that I also took an hour for lunch. I think today was a really successful day. I got, what did I do first? I got the strings, which I have been waiting on for months. The client has been really on at me about, like, where are the strings? Where are they? I'm like, well, I don't know, stuck somewhere between here and Germany. I can't make it happen any quicker. Yeah, our postal service is just, oof, goodness. But it got here eventually, so that's good, and I can go and fix the piano. I got my phone screen fixed, which is a big win. That cost me 7,000 francs, which is really cheap, brilliant. Try not to drop it again. What did I do? Yeah, so talking through art was good, but they didn't have any of the baskets I was looking for, and I just thought it was so funny. You know, I'm trying so hard to describe the type of basket that I want to buy so that I can make bread, and it is literally called a bread basket. So who knew? And then I didn't really film much for the last part because, one, I was completely knackered and overheating, and two, I made a really big blooper. I walked into the shop where I buy the beeswax. So I went to buy beeswax to polish the piano. And I went to the shop that I always get it from. And all they had was a tiny amount for like 3,000 or a really massive amount for 16,000. So I went into this whole spiel about, oh, it was so much better when you sold it in you know, normal sized jars of beeswax, because that was the perfect amount and it was the perfect price. And they looked at me and they said, but we've only ever sold it in these sizes. And I went, no, I assure you, you haven't. You know, you used. I did the full Karen. I was like, no. You used to have this in a bigger jar. I preferred the other jar. And she looked at me and she went, are you sure you didn't want a easy life? And what I'd done is I'd walked into the shop right next to a easy life, and it looked so much like a easy life that I didn't realise I was in the wrong shop. And the minute she said that, I was like, isn't this as easy life? And she looked at me and said, no. And I looked around and I was like, oh, oh yeah, it isn't. So I had to, very red faced, I had to walk out of the shop, turn left, walk into the next shop. I felt like such a plonker, but when I got in there, they had the exact beeswax polish that I was trying to buy. And I felt so guilty about like, no, you definitely had this before. I felt so guilty about it. I went back and I bought, hold on. Yeah, I felt like I should go back and buy something to apologise. And so I bought some lavender essential oil, which lavender is very good for helping you to sleep. So, you know, if you've been following this channel for a minute, you will know that at the moment I am utterly sleep deprived. So I'm going to put some of that on my pillow at night and see if it helps. I'm willing to try anything at the moment, absolutely anything. So yeah, that was good. I mean, all ended well. And then I went and got some cat food and a cat toy. I love this. I might play with this actually. I think I'm going to be playing with that. Yeah, so that was a very productive day today. Sometimes you'll set out to get your shopping list done and everything will go wrong and nothing will work and you won't find anything that you need. And other days you'll step out and it'll just be like, do, everything's done, everything works. And you never know what kind of day it's going to be until you step outside. So yeah, that was a good day. I'm happy, I'm content. And I don't want to go outside again for at least another week.